From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Good morning, everyone. Quick reminder that next Tuesday, early Tuesday morning, there is going to be a full lunar eclipse. You need to wake up early, folks. You're talking about 3:30 in the morning is when it's going to be in this maximum eclipse. And then, of course, getting later and later in the morning as we start getting out of the eclipse. So be sure to put that into your calendars for next Tuesday. The good news is we should be looking at mainly clear skies, but that's something we'll be watching very closely. Didn't see clear skies yesterday over Bernie Mountain, courtesy of Joey sending in this great photo, looking at some clouds over the mountain itself and still some snow on the top of the summit there. Share your photos just like Joey did from the free Weather NorCal app, and just may see them here in the morning update. And you'll also see this photo on live show Coffee with Krueger at 6:30 in the morning. Let's get into your Krueger's quick cast for your Thursday, February 26th. Take a look at the river levels, and I wanted to show you this because we were anticipating that these would expire yesterday, or excuse me, this morning. Now they've been extended. You can see the right now. Let's see if we can get that going here. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, let's zoom it in here a little bit tighter. And you can see here that we do have a flood warning for just south of Red Bluff until 2:17 this evening, 5:17 this evening near Corning, and southwest of Chico until 10:15 tonight. So we take a look at some of the river stages here, and you can see it's at 208. This is looking at Vina Woodson Bridge at 183, which is actually in the minor flood stage as I'm recording this, and just below that flood stage here at the Ord Ferry. So let's get you into some of these river levels and see what they're looking like. And you can see out at Tehama Bridge, all of these, they are expected to eventually recede here throughout the day. There you can see Vina Woodson Bridge in that minor flood stage, but it is going to be dropping below that here later this morning and into the afternoon. Now, we're actually seeing it increase a little bit here at Ord Ferry, and you can see that's going to kind of hover through the afternoon, and then eventually by tonight it will start to recede and should be much lower by the time we get into Friday morning. Bottom line, we still have the swelled up Sacramento River. There is some flooding in some areas along the Sacramento River, especially in Tehama County and Glenn County as well. In fact, I do know that there are some road closures around the Sacramento River in Glenn County here for today. So just be aware of that if you need to travel near that Sacramento River. All right, out the door for this morning, here's what we've got here. Foggy conditions. We'll call it patchy fog for parts of the valley, especially those wind-sheltered areas. Otherwise, we are going to be looking at clearing skies here most likely as we take you through the day. Now, we still have that tropical moisture aimed in our general direction, but we're kind of being cut off from that flow, which is why we're not really seeing any rainfall, but we are still seeing a lot of those clouds out there. And the winds, yeah, you can see as we go through the afternoon, fairly calm, about 5 to 10 miles per hour from the north, taking you into your Thursday night. Looks like we are seeing those winds from the north at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So nothing too terribly strong with those winds. Ski Park, 40 trails are open, 32 inches at the top of Douglas. It's rider packed. Nothing to really new report here as far as snow, because we haven't seen any new snow over the last few days. And even though we do have some more precipitation in the forecast down the line, especially this weekend, unfortunately that means high snow levels, and we're not going to see much in the way of any new snow out at the ski park. All right, we can take a look at the rainfall chances, and for today and tomorrow they're very slim, but they will increase over the weekend. Another drop in those chances Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe another shot at some rain and even some snow as we go into your Wednesday of next week. All right, take a look at the temperatures for your Thursday. It's warming up. We're talking temperatures around 70, give or take, for the valley. 50s for most of the higher elevations, although some 60s in Trinity County. Take you out to tonight. Temperature is upper 40s for the valley, and looks like in the 30s for the higher elevations, mid to upper 40s for you along the coast. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. I've included a chance for thunderstorms for Saturday, Sunday. Here's the deal. Don't look at that and go, it's just going to be mayhem, because it won't. There will be some isolated thunderstorms, otherwise scattered showers. And I think that may linger on into Monday as far as chances for showers are concerned. But as we go through the weekend, as we go into early next week, the chances will start to diminish. But there you can see by next Wednesday, yet another shot at maybe some wet weather. So again, not mayhem for Saturday, Sunday, but most places are going to see at least a chance for thunderstorms, if not scattered showers throughout the weekend, and then maybe lingering on into your Monday as well before we see a bit of a break, and then maybe some more showers going into your Wednesday of next week. That's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Let's take a look at our weather headlines now. We've got mainly dry and warmer conditions for the rest of the week. Temperatures in the 70s, as we're already starting to see here for today. Chance for showers this weekend, maybe some thunderstorms. Mainly dry and warmer for next week, and I say that because, next Wednesday there will be another chance for some showers by the middle of next week. All right, let's go ahead and get into your deeper dive forecast, sponsored by Shasta Hearing Aids.
Hearing loss can creep in little by little until one day you realize something's been missing. It's not about things being louder, it's about the moments that slip by. The joke you didn't quite catch, the quiet I love you, or the conversations with your kids that deserve the full attention. At Shasta Hearing Aids here in Redding, we believe hearing aid care should feel personal. Through compassionate care, a comprehensive hearing aid screening, and technology tailored to your lifestyle, we help you reconnect to what matters most. Schedule your free hearing aid evaluation today.
All right, so I mentioned this a little bit earlier in our Krueger's Quickcast, but there you can see that stream of moisture. That's still there. This is the same source of moisture that brought us the heavy rainfall a few days ago, right? But that has pretty much we've been cut off from that. You see how it's still aimed in our direction, but you see how it's kind of getting cut off right here. And partially because this area of low pressure here is kind of kidnapping a lot of that moisture, kind of wrapping it up into the storm system itself, which, by the way, this will eventually impact us as we go into the weekend. That's that chance for thunderstorms I was talking about. But there you can see, again, there's that flow of moisture, but we're kind of being cut off from getting that direct hit from that moisture. So really the main impacts that we're feeling are just some of the clouds that we're seeing out there. Now again, you see the area of low pressure, how it's kind of kidnapping a lot of that moisture because it's kind of getting up and then rotating around the area of low pressure, so we're not getting that direct hit. But as we go into Saturday, this is going to tap into it. And as we go into Sunday, this will tap into it as well, giving us a chance for some scattered showers, possible thunderstorms. Then on Monday, as it kind of pushes down to our south and east, it will kind of really lose a lot of its strength. But as it does dissipate and as it moves into our area, that could continue to bring us a slight chance for a few stray sprinkles or light showers on Monday. All right, so here we have the unsettled weather pattern, right? Here's the area of low pressure. Here's the stream of moisture that eventually moves into our region by Saturday. So the low pressure itself is still pretty well off to our west, but it's helped the flow around that low is helping to kick up some of those disturbances, and that'll give us some of those scattered showers, maybe a few isolated thunderstorms on Saturday. And then you can see it moves closer, still that chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, and then it just dissipates as it moves on through Monday. Now, there you can see Wednesday of next week, we see the next disturbance pushing through. This one's a bit colder, but typically these colder storm systems, unless it's able to tap into some moisture from the south, they're fairly moisture starved. So yes, we will see a chance for some showers on Wednesday and even some snow, maybe down to about 4,500 feet, give or take here and there, but it's not going to be all that significant. A break Thursday, and then maybe another system kicking in by the end of next week. You can see this trough of low pressure. This one's a little bit colder. I think snow levels may be a bit lower as well by the end of next week, and even possibly into that next weekend. Now, just kind of show you what it looks like here as we go through the weekend. Not much going on over the weekend because snow levels are still fairly high. By Wednesday, snow levels are dropping a little bit, so you go up to about 4,500 feet or so, and we're starting to see some of the snow. But you can see, again, not very significant. It won't be very much in the way of high impact snow. Just a couple of inches here and there of snow for elevations above 4,500, 5,000 feet. And then on Saturday, you can start to see, again, keep in mind, this is the accumulation in a matter of 7-8 days or so, right? So this may look like a lot, but number one, it's not. I mean, we're still looking at mainly in the light in the way of snow. This is Lassen Peak. This is Mount Shasta, right? The mountain of Mount Shasta, the peak there. So that would be expected as you go to some of those highest elevations. But, you know, if you're traveling anywhere in the Sierra, Southern Cascades, or really even up to the north, you're not going to have to worry about too much. Yeah, some of the higher elevations and some of those higher mountain passes, you may run into a little bit of snow, maybe some brief periods of chain requirements, but should not really be a major impact when we're talking about travel with these chances for some of that lower elevation snow. But again, we're talking about the end of the middle and latter part of next week. So there's still a lot to iron out there. But again, at this point, doesn't look terribly impressive. A little bit of that fog that we are seeing this morning in parts of the valley, the wind sheltered areas in particular, and even some of the mountain valley fog as well. That should dissipate by the afternoon. We'll still call it partly cloudy though throughout the day, but we're still seeing those dry conditions. Looks like Friday, we're seeing some kind of clouds filtering on through once again, but still dry through the day on Friday. By Friday night into Saturday, there it is, that first batch of moisture coming in. And I think everyone through the early morning hours will see that shower activity kind of push northward. But there you can see the main area of instability is what's going to be moving in Saturday afternoon. So I do think there could be a chance for thunderstorms. Pretty much everyone may have that chance, including even places along the coast here, but the valley, in some of the mountains, and even off to the east, I think that's where we've got better chances for those thunderstorms. Now again, if a thunderstorm develops, and again, the key word is there, if, because not everyone's going to see them, but if a thunderstorm develops over you, do note that it will be a period of heavy rainfall, gusty winds, hail, lightning, the works, right? Typical that you would see with these thunderstorms. Now, as these move on out, there you can see as we go into Saturday night, still some of those thunderstorms even to the east. Now, Sunday morning, we get a bit of a break, right? But then Sunday afternoon, as that low pressure system comes in, there could be a scattered shower, a scattered thunderstorm. But you'll notice it's not as active on Sunday, so the chances are slimmer. You'll also notice Trinity County westward, looks like it's going to be fairly dry. I mean, maybe a passing sprinkle or two, but not all that active. And then Monday, so you can see Sunday night into Monday, still a slight chance for some of those showers kind of kicking in. All right, so here's a look at the winds. If you have anything you have to do outside that involves the winds, you don't have a whole lot to worry about. The winds will generally be out of the north as we go into Friday midday. North winds a little breezy for Friday midday, but certainly nothing to be terribly concerned about, maybe 10, 15 miles per hour. There you can see drier than normal conditions coming in from the Climate Prediction Center over Northern California. So we're talking about chances for rain and snow, you know, going even through next week, but it's just going to be a few days in there and it's not going to be that significant. We're also talking mainly warmer than normal conditions. However, the forecast models have backed off on just how much warmer it will be. You know, if you remember yesterday, we were in the low 70s. Now the models are kind of backing down a bit and more like the upper 60s as we go through next week and into that next weekend. The main spike will actually be tomorrow, where temperatures could reach those mid 70s. By the way, just want to give you a quick wrap up of how we're doing so far for the season, especially after all that rain that we did see a few days ago. So you can see most areas are still over 100%. And despite the fact that the coast is where we saw most of the rainfall, Crescent City is actually still below normal for the season at 87%. But at least we're starting to see that percentage begin to go up a bit. And it looks like Alturas and Montague also over 100% as well. And how about that snowpack? Yeah, we saw a lot of snow. I mean, we heard about, 7, 8, even 9 feet of snow in some cases for parts of the Sierra. What did that do for our snowpack? Unfortunately, we are still below normal across the board, even out towards the southern Sierra, where it has at some point been above 100%. Statewide average is at about 73% normal to date. So we could certainly use more snow. Unfortunately, even though we do have some chances for snow in there down the line, it's not going to be all that significant. Lake levels, they are also very healthy. Look at how much they've increased. Yesterday, they had increased by about 2.5 feet. That's almost doubled. In fact, in many cases, it has doubled. 5 feet plus out towards Shasta Lake. Almost 4 feet increase for Trinity Lake. This is the last 24 hours. And almost a 7-foot increase for Lake Oroville. So yeah, that rain certainly has had an impact on those lake levels. Take a look at the wave heights. As you can see here, they are dropping for today. And as we take you into your Friday, yeah, those wave heights are probably going to start to increase with that approaching next storm system, especially going into Saturday. Here's your marine forecast for your Thursday. North winds at 5 to 10 knots. There's a look at your waves, your high and your low tide. No advisories. Yeah, good day to be out there on your small boats, that's for sure. Here is your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We're talking temperatures in the mid-60s. So again, I've got that chance for thunderstorms Saturday. I think Sunday, Trinity County westward will most likely be looking at drier conditions, maybe an isolated shower on Monday. And then Wednesday is going to be that next shot at some more wet weather. 62 degrees for Rio Dell today, 64 degrees in Blue Lake, and 66 degrees in Garterville. We take you up north with 64 degrees out in Gas Key, 64 in Orleans, as well as Hoopa and Willow Creek, about 66 degrees. For Siskiyou County, upper 50s, even some low 60s in there, about 59 degrees for Wairika, Gazelle, 59, and that chance for thunderstorms over the weekend. And then maybe some more wet weather going into Wednesday of next week. Modoc County, temperatures mid to upper 50s for your daytime highs. You've also got that chance for thunderstorms over the weekend. Eastern Mountains, 56 for Mineral, 59 degrees for Janesville, and Doyle, about 61 degrees. And for the Valley, upper 60s to about 70. You've got that chance for thunderstorms both days, otherwise just some scattered showers. Maybe lingering into Monday with a slight chance for a sprinkle or two, and then better chance for some more wet weather going into Wednesday of next week. There's your 7-day forecast for Chico. Again, looks ominous, right? Thunderstorms, right? The chance is there, right? Both days. But overall, it's just going to be scattered showers. And there could be those brief periods of heavy rainfall with some of those showers and thunderstorms as well. We'll take you up to the north, about 70, give or take, 70 degrees for Redding, for a high of 70 out in Red Bluff. And there's your 7-day forecast. Well, we'll take a look at it right here. There it is, 7-day forecast for Redding. Temperatures dropping a bit over the weekend, and then generally be in the upper 60s to about 70 come Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, I'll be back again at noon for the latest look at your weather. Have yourselves a great morning.
When you see flashing lights, someone's life depends on us.
And while we're out helping crash victims, we need your help to keep us safe. Move over, slow down, it's the law, it protects everyone.
Our crews are out here every day, keeping the roads safe for you and your family.
We're often the last ones on scene, and we want to make it home safe too.
Protect those who protect you, slow down and move over.